a moment of silence? Maybe film this and then say, on that, yeah, film. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LaCrosse action live from Rouses Point as the host Ganienkeh Gunners look for their first win of the season against the expansion Valleyfield Dynamites. We've just had a moment of silence for one of the players who has recently passed on, a former Gunner. We'll get to that in a moment with our color man, Mike Rice, who joins me right now to set the stage for this matchup between these two fine clubs looking for victory number one, the Gunners tonight, Mike, and it seems like it's going to be quite a challenge even though we're looking at an expansion Dynamite squad.
Well, it definitely will be. Ganienkeh is already down 0-4 starting off the year. Valleyfield's come out quite strong. The record at present stands at a 2-1 as the current stats that we received from the ILA, and they've shown themselves in their games. They played quite close, they've been quite competitive. But it's not to count out the Ganienkeh team themselves. They played a lot of close games and they've lost games by 1 or 2 goals. But in a game of lacrosse, sometimes 1 or 2 goals can make a difference in your league standings.
And the moment of silence that we just had prior to the game was for a former Gunner that you're familiar with. Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was a moment of silence was for John Daibo, was a Gunner player. He was playing for them this year. He played an exhibition. He played last year. And at the beginning of the game, they had a moment of silence to honor his memory. And we'd like to, on behalf of the broadcast team, send out our sincere condolences to the Gunners and to the family.
And we're about ready to get things underway here from Rouses Point. The Gunners in the white uniforms, the Valleyfield Dynamites in their road reds, as referee Danny Giguère ready to get things underway momentarily. Both goaltenders ready for action, and here we go. And things are underway here at Rouses Point. Goodleaf gaining possession off the draw, getting it over to his teammate, Danny Oakes, who's got control. Over to the point, down into Mike DeLille from Ganienkeh, playing for the Gunners here. As goaltender Travis Solomon clears the zone. Starting in goal tonight for the Gunners is Robert Gray, although he's wearing the black jersey in goal for the Gunners, who are wearing the whites. Shot from the point, sidearm style, from number 22, Leb Thomas.
Well, that's a nice one there. Leb Thomas, he got a lot of room, he wound up, and he put a lot of power behind that shot there, Mark. You see him, he's good for the sidearm shot. And I think Gray was a little bit surprised by that one. He thought he had it stopped, but the ball made its way through to give the Valleyfield Dynamites a 1-0 lead. And one thing you got to look at Valleyfield is they got a pretty good offensive punch. Some of the guys you got to watch out for tonight on the floor, Leb Thomas, Chubby Delormier. You're going to see Greg Tarbell. These are the guys who have been leading the Dynamites so far in the scoring.
So 1-0 for the Valleyfield Dynamites. There's an O in there, not an A. Although I do permit myself a little creative license here tonight. Jimmy Jefferson would be proud. Work it into the middle. Turned over, and the Gunners gain possession. Jason Delaron moving it out for the Gunners. Fakes a shot into the corner. That's off the glass, and here come the Dynamites. Brett Bradley takes a cross check, works it back into his own zone. And here comes Chuck Delormier, 66. Delormier shoots. That one's blocked. No problem there for Gray as he squeezed the pads. Ball out of play with 17 minutes and 10 seconds to go in period number 1.
Well, we got Junior Trombley carrying up the ball there for the Gunners. He's coming in his own, winds up, takes a big shot that he gets it on goal. Yes, he gets a new 30-second shot clock, but Valleyfield's got back possession.
And that one's still loose in the crease, but Gray corrals it and hands off to his teammate behind his own goal. Coming out now for the Gunners is number 16. Number 15, actually. We've got Curtis Stacy. That's on the side of the net. Kicked out easily by Solomon. And here come the Gunners making wholesale changes. That one's worked through the middle, but Leb Thomas couldn't get it through. One bouncing around, both teams fighting for control. Finally, Curtis Stacy regains possession. 16:04 left to go in period number 1. 1-0 for the Valleyfield Dynamites. Slapped out baseball style by Eric McCumber. Ball at mid-court, recovered by the Gunners into the middle. Here comes Mike DeLille. He shoots wide. That's out of play. Looks like a slashing call on that play.
Definitely is. I'm going to check which one of the Gunner players are going to be getting it, and it looks like it's the Danny Oakes getting. I'm not sure if he's getting a slashing or if he's getting a follow through, but apparently referee Jaguar is signaling a slashing penalty. We'll have to see what's going to go on that one, but they're going to have a face-off to the left of Travis Zolomon in the Valleyfield zone, and it was kind of a waste there, Mark, because they got the shot on goal, and every time you get a shot on, you get a new 30-second clock, a lot like in basketball. So it gives your team another 30 seconds of an opportunity to score a goal. Chuck Barnowski's going to be given the face-off. We're going to wait for the whistle to blow the ball in play. This is Leb Thomas. This is one player I was telling you about. Very dangerous coming up here, and he passes it off to Greg Tarbell.
Tarbell working it through the middle. They're going to try and set up here, work for the best angle shot possible. They work it into the side. Here comes 88, Guimont. He's knocked down. And here comes Mike DeLille running up the left side, trying to cut in. He gets nailed from behind by Greg Tarbaugh. But nonetheless, good chance in front for the Gunners. Norm Beaver just rifling one wide. Looks like there's going to be another penalty on the play, except this one will even things up to 4-on-4. As headed off to the box is Greg Tarbaugh.
Well, definitely there. That's what you call a veteran's penalty there. Mike DeLille, the veteran, going against the veteran Greg Tarbell, using his smaller size and his faster speed. Tarbell was caught hitting from behind, and it looked even like a cross-check in the back of the head, knocking DeLille down, and you could hear the cheers from the Ganienkeh bench for putting Tarbell into the penalty box. They even things up on 4-on-4.
And that's what they'll play at for the next minute and 22 seconds, at which time the Dynamites will go on the man advantage. That one stopped in front by Solomon, who took care of scoring chance on the part of Rolla Parker. A bouncer in front, ball loose. Cross check from behind by McLegault. And the Gunners take possession here on this 4-on-4. A shot wide. And it comes rolling all the way back into Ganienkeh territory. Kyle Martin, the one rifling that one wide, and also the one headmanning it here. And you heard his disappointment on that errant pass. The team at Rolla Parker. Referee Chuck Barnowski gives possession to the Dynamites. Long bomb pass headed to Brett Bradley wide. This one loose, but nonetheless, here comes Chip Bradley. Works it back to Brett Bradley, who still has possession, trying to work into the middle. He's got a good angle, doesn't shoot, works it back to the point. And here comes Leb Thomas behind the back bouncer, which surprised goaltender Robert Gray. A good scoring chance, but to no avail as the buzzer sounds.
Well, that's the 30-second clock expiring, and Danny Oakes coming out of the penalty box wanted to pick up the ball there in a fast break, but it's not to be. They're giving it back to Leb Thomas, much to the disappointment of the Gunners. Oakes, who thought he was going to have a clean breakaway. They pass it up. Chip Bradley's walking it into the zone. You're going to watch here. You're going to see Valleyfield's going to try and set up. They're going to try and work the pick and roll in close.
They're on the man advantage now for the next 10 seconds or so. And we're even up. Five aside here with 12:50 to go in period number 1, and Ganienkeh up 1-0 on Valleyfield here at Rouses Point. Controlled now by the Gunners, looking for a good angle shot in front. It's John Dam. That one's blocked. And Valleyfield breaks out of its zone, but not so quickly, although deflected, lost, regained, lost, loose, you name it. This ball is rolling around inside the Valleyfield zone. And now it's possession for the Gunners, who work the one-timer in front. Good idea there by Danny Oakes, looking for teammate Philip White, but to no avail. The one-timer just off by inches. We've got 11:55 to go in the first. Shot from way out by John Oakes. And home run pass. We got a 3-on-0 here for the Dynamites. Shooting wide, though, is Rick Fillon, who had almost too much time to set up there, but they've got another chance in front. Off the crossbar. Tremendous opportunity, just missed by Philippe Gauthier. Goaltender's best friend coming in handy there for goaltender Robert Gray. There's DeLille. DeLille works in front. Nice pass. Blocked and robbed is Eric McCumber by goaltender Solomon. Here come the Dynamites at midcourt. Fake shot from way out. Controlled by Leb Thomas. Out in front. Almost a jump ball there. But the speedy Mike DeLille works it up to teammate, crunched teammate David Horn, who loses possession. And Ganienkeh almost getting caught there. Tremendous opportunity for Chuck Delormier. But he shoots one wide. As Gray getting fortunate on that breakaway a few seconds ago, and then that semi-break just there by Delormier, and the crossbar just seconds ago as well. This game should definitely be tied, if not in favor of Valleyfield at this point. The Gunners getting fortunate. Here comes Delarone. He was thinking about shooting. Now he does. That one's blocked by Solomon. Trying to spread out here are the Dynamites, looking to break out. And they do. The home run pass working to perfection, except not retrieved in this case by Greg Tarbaugh. As the Gunners now try and work the semi-fast break. 3-on-3 in this offensive situation. But they don't have a chance to work it down low. 3-on-3 at least on the fast break, which was semi-quick. Here comes Valleyfield. Leb Thomas working it into the middle. Behind the back flip pass to the captain, Greg Tarbaugh. Bit of a collision there in front, to say the least, as Rolla Parker going to work in front of goaltender Gray on a Gunners player whose jersey has been ripped. That looks like, what does that look like, Mike?
I don't know, he's all torn up.
He's all shook up, as Elvis would say. He's trying to set up a screen in front now, but here come the Dynamites. Another chance in front. That one's shot wide by Brett Bradley. Glorious opportunities going by the wayside. And it's Chip Bradley, the man with a fashion statement at center court. I don't know how they can repair that one. All the sporting goods stores are closed at this hour, and I don't think they have a sewing kit. So we'll try and keep him in one piece at least. Chip will be easy to distinguish now that we know he's got a torn jersey. 8:30 left in period number 1. 1-0 for the Ganienkeh Gunners against the Valleyfield Dynamites. In front, chance blocked. Bradley robbed. Here comes Delaron at midcourt. Goes to his left to John Dam, who works it in front, but McCumber can't control the pass. Looks like he almost recovers it there in front. Sticks flying. Double team on Brett Bradley. This is getting pretty sloppy in the corner as the ball's still loose. Whistled down by Giguère.
They're giving the possession over to the Valleyfield Dynamites. There seems to be some confusion there for Freehand. For a moment there, they were bumping with referee Baranowski. They must have mistaken him with the ball.
Ooh, Big Chuck, former biology teacher of yours truly, back in the high school days. That's for later in the game when we have some time to kill. We'll tell you that story if you're interested. He's a good man, Chuck Baranowski. A lot of sloppiness here, but now here's a chance in front for the Dynamites, who can't cash in. Gauthier getting robbed by Gray. And a shot again, this time by McCumber. And the ball's loose back into the Ganienkeh territory.
Well, the Gray's passing it out to number 13, Jason Delaron. He's bringing it up the floor. They got to get going quickly because they only have 9 seconds left on a shot clock. Number 28, Mike DeLille, has the ball. He winds up, he takes a shot, but he misses the net.
Here come the Dynamites, who lead this one 1-0 with 6:25 remaining in the first period. Coming up is Delormier. Delormier looking, trying to cut in. Finally, it's knocked off him by DeLille, who loses possession. And here comes 88. Sylvain Guimont works it in front. And here's Leb Thomas in front with a back shot like he did earlier, except this one was no surprise for Gray, who remembered that little trick of the trade from Thomas. DeLille works it up to Delaron. Waiting for his teammates, or is he? He shoots. That one's just wide. Here comes Guimont. 2-on-2, and there's some back checking done by Delaron and a cross check being done by 55, Kyle Martin.
I think that was Junior Trombley laid out the big check there, and Sylvain Guimont, he felt that one.
You're right, it was Junior. He got all crumpled up when he had impact. Legault waiting for this one to come down from the heavens. It does finally, but Delaron gains possession for the Gunners. Loses it to Legault. Is it me, or has this been like a Mexican jumping bean, the lacrosse ball tonight?
It definitely has there. Both teams have been having trouble finishing cleanly to their players around the net. They're losing possession, and the key to this game is getting control of the ground balls, the loose balls. And if Ganienkeh can get one up here and pick it up in front and get a good shot, they have a chance to tie this game up at 1. But that ball doesn't want to go in anybody's stick, and the ball is out of play. It's now going to be red ball going back to the Valleyfield Dynamites, and I believe they're going to give it to Leb Thomas to carry back in play.
Some might be wondering if his nickname is because he's Lebanese, but I'm told that's not why Rob is nicknamed Leb. We won't get into that either, but that was my first assumption a couple weeks back when I caught the nickname Leb Thomas. Here come the Dynamites, working it down low from a bad angle, and getting hit is Bradley. Looks like he actually has a new shirt. The seamstress working her magic on the bench. Either that or they have an extra for each player. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Dam with possession for Ganienkeh. In front, the one-timer by Parka. Parker, and he's just stopped cold by Solomon. With 3.5 minutes to go in the first period, we're still stuck at 1-0 Ganienkeh against the Valleyfield Dynamites, who get the ball intercepted again by Mikey DeLille, who's all over the court tonight. That one stopped in front. John Dam getting his shot blocked from a poor angle. Here's DeLille looking, trying to work it in front, cross the front of the net. That one's cleared out. Ooh, dangerously close to too many men there for the Dynamites. Here comes Eric McCumber. McCumber cups to the middle. Good shooting position. Lets it fly just wide. Valleyfield certainly has had its chances, but it can't seem to draw blood on goaltender Robert Gray, who's gotten a bit fortunate at times with the wide shots and the crossbar earlier in the period. Here come the Gunners. Great chance in front, but shot wide again. This time by Kyle Mayo. DeLille out in front to Delarone. This is Mayo, although on the back of his jersey it looks like it says Delarone. It is Kyle Mayo, 88. That isn't an illusion. It does say Delarone on 88's back, doesn't it?
It does there. I believe they're using some of the jerseys from last year's team, and they still have the players' names on them. But
thanks, guys.
We definitely know that that's Kyle Mayo. And Kyle Mayo has actually just come up from junior. He's a very quick, very shifty player. You see him from there. He's dangerous, and Ganienkeh likes that. They like players who can got the moves out there. But Gray stops that one. Chubby Delormier takes another shot for the Valleyfield Dynamites, and it's picked up behind the net by Leb Thomas. Feeds it out to Chubby Delormier. Delormier's going to fake. He's going to go in, take a shot. But Gray stands tall. And one thing you got to say about Gray, there's no gray area on him. He's very solid in nets.
1:15 left in the first. Still 1-0 in favor of Ganienkeh. Working it down low. Here's a good chance in front for White. He rifles it wide. Setting up behind the net for Ganienkeh was Stacy. Couldn't find anyone. Rolls all the way back into Ganienkeh territory, where Stacy himself picks it up. Goes for a change, or does he? He's in the middle. It's worked over to the side and scores. What a blast by Danny Oakes, who buries it.
He definitely did there. He buried, and Danny Oakes is a veteran. He's coming in, and he doesn't make no mistake about it. And that's the thing that Ganienkeh has been wanting to do. They've been wanting to get the shots on net. So far in this period, we've been seeing the Valleyfield Dynamites pressing, but if the Ganienkeh Gunners can control the loose balls, they can control the rebounds, they can get the opportunities. And you just saw there, they caught Travis Solomon. Maybe for a second he might have been napping, and it went right over the top shoulder. And we're gonna see if we're gonna get any, if there's any announcing in this arena. I'm not too sure if we're gonna get any play-by-play, but we do know it's Oakes who got the goal.
Well, why don't I give it to you right here? Ganienkeh goal scored by number 5, Danny Oakes, at 18 minutes, 29 seconds. Oakes at 18:29 for Ganienkeh. It's still 1-1 game here. With 3 seconds to go, Leb Thomas fires, or does he? He passes, and beautifully set up, but Chuck Baranowski at the buzzer. Looks like he's waving that one off. Seemed like the right call to me as I looked up to the scoreboard. There were about 3 seconds left. Or is he waving it off?
I don't think so. He's going to give it to Mark. Apparently with some confusion, they're asking him about Baranowski's going to count the goal. So that's going to go to number 44, Brett Bradley. And Mark, that's the first time I've seen Bradley this year. I haven't seen him earlier in the season. I haven't seen him in the preseason, but he showed up here tonight to restore the 1-goal lead for the Valleyfield Dynamites. We're up 2-1. Leb Thomas controlling the ball. He's passing up. Brett Bradley's got the ball. He's to take a big hit there from Junior Tremblay as they scramble for the ball. And you know, Mark, just watching the way Tremblay took Bradley down, the Montreal Alouettes could use him with that tackling skill.
Yeah, that season gets underway in 1 month's time. The Alouettes open up their first full season at Molson Stadium in downtown Montreal. I saw the clock reset. No joke here, Mike. I saw the clock reset. There were 31 seconds left when that last goal was scored, and there was an extra minute went on when the goal was scored.
It must be a bonus when you get a score. You must get 30 seconds.
Either a bonus or home court advantage on that one, because I'm not seeing things. I'm telling you.
Well, we remember from our high school years, our teachers used to give you bonus points if you got perfect on your exam. So I guess you got a goal that counts for perfection.
Well, some of the visiting fans didn't react. Neither did Coach Mac Thomas for Valleyfield. So you have to wonder, maybe there were more seconds left on that scoreboard than I thought. But that finally puts an end to period number 1, with the visiting Valleyfield Dynamites leading this one 2-1 against the host Ganienkeh Gunners, still looking for their first victory this season. They put up a good fight in that first period, but they ran into some pretty good goaltending by Travis Solomon of the Valleyfield Dynamites. And as well, I guess you could say that the Dynamites lacked a bit of opportunism as well in the first period, Mike.
Well, they definitely did their mark. They weren't able to finish on their opportunities. They had the shots. They hit that dreaded nemesis there, the posts, and they couldn't put the ball in the net. And there was a couple of other times they just couldn't get clean to their players. But for their part, the Ganienkeh goaltender, Robert Gray, has been pretty solid in nets, keeping the game very close. As been with the previous 4 games with this Ganienkeh team. They have been keeping their games very close. Their goaltending has been solid, and with the addition of Gray to their roster, has made the Ganienkeh Gunners a much stronger team, and this is going to help them. This is going to help them as they go on in the season. You know, there's a 20-game schedule. This is the 5th game they're going into, but for the first period summary for Ganienkeh, scoring was Danny Oakes, and for Valleyfield we had Brett Bradley. And I don't believe we got the other Valleyfield goal. And that's one of the problems here, not having a PA system in attendance like we had in other arenas, where if we do miss it, we do get it from the play-by-play guys who are keeping score with us.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion both on the scoreboard and as well with the goal scorer in one of these instances in this period. But nonetheless, it's 2-1 for the visiting Valleyfield Dynamites against Ganienkeh after 1 period of play. For Mike DeLille, I'm Mark Chaloux. We'll talk to you in a few moments for period number 2. Couple minutes gone by in period number 2. First period summary. Your hometown cable summary. Valleyfield opening the scoring with Leb Thomas, giving them a 1-0 lead. Danny Oakes tied it up for Ganienkeh, and then Brett Bradley with a late period goal, giving the Gunners the 2-1 lead. Giving the Dynamites, I should say, the 2-1 lead.
Well, we got Jason Dello running out there in a quick rush for Ganienkeh. They're having a lot of pressure put on by Valleyfield. Takes his shot, puts it into the midsection area there of Travis Solomon. Leb Thomas picks it up. He passed it off, but he couldn't get cleanly to Chip Bradley. Oh, and Junior Tremblay lays out Chubby Delormier there. We were mentioning earlier about Tremblay saying he's going to be a big hitter, and he's not disappointing the viewers tonight, laying on the big checks, and that's what you need in your defenseman, to let the opposition know you're there. Leb Thomas has the ball. He's on the point. Number 22, Leb Thomas. Pass in front. Whoa! Beautiful setup there. Nice feed to Britt Bradley. There you see him stuffing his stick there in his side. It's his second goal of the night. Bradley on a feed from Leb Thomas. Well, Mark, this game it just got back underway in a second period. We got 16 minutes and 43 seconds left to go. Valleyfield has now got a 2-goal lead, up 3-1, and there still seems to be some confusion. Mark, you see on the clock there's 1:28 in penalty time for the visitor, but I don't see any player in the box.
Well, you know my thoughts on the scoreboard in the first period. I thought that there was a mistake at one point. Could have been mine, but we'll check the videotape evidence.
Yes, that we definitely will. We'll go for the replay. There's the face-off. The scramble for the ball. Number 15. That's number 15, Curtis Stacy, scrambling. They're really going in a scrum there. Lola Parker.
Here's Stacy working it up. He had a good angle, but decided to pass off instead to Kyle Mayo. .16-12 left in the period. The second period. Waiting. Chance in front finally. Here's White. That's blocked.
Talk about a well scramble there, but Ganienkeh is pressing and they're showing a lot of energy here in the second period. They want to get those goals in and they want to get ahead in this game. Oh boy, that has to be a backbreaker. Sylvain Guimont gets his first of the game, and I'm trying to check the Valleyfield player who fed him. We can't see his number at this point, but it looks like he was fed by number 2, Sylvain Primo. Now we see Valleyfield opening up a bit of a lead here, 4-1 with 15:39 to go in the second period, and that was kind of a backbreaker there for the Ganienkeh Gunners, Mark, because they were putting on some good pressure, but they couldn't control the loose balls to finish off a nice play.
Yeah, this is a situation here where it's got to hurt to have a couple of quick ones like this scored early in the middle period. But they've got possession now, and they'll try and cut that lead of Valleyfield's in half. Loose ball again, and here comes John Oakes. Trying to bring it out. It's loose again. It's got to be a record for loose balls tonight in this game. Unbelievable. Ball behind the net, man open at the point, but choosing to hold on to it nonetheless. Johnny Dam, who gets pushed into the boards behind the Valleyfield goal. Here's Oakes. Shot clock expires. Well, they had a chance to work it back to the point earlier in that sequence, but they didn't, and here comes the fast break for Valleyfield. Breakaway for Filion. He's stopped by Gray. And here comes Dam, who works it up to Danny Oakes.
Now it's going to be Ganienkeh having the ball. Michael DeLille, he's coming into the zone. He elects to pass, but it's intercepted by Leb Thomas, number 22. Leb Thomas is going to come up. He's going to give his teammates the time to change lines. He hits Chubby Delormier, but the shot clock expires. And in the game of LaCrosse, Mark, you only have 30 seconds to get a shot on net to either renew the shot clock or get a goal.
Similar to the concept in basketball. So a little bit of a blend of hockey and hoops here in the great game of lacrosse. It used to be Canada's official national sport. That's been taken off the books the last few years, although of course hockey is the official national sport now, but gaining some popularity now with the ILA making an impact, at least in the Montreal area. A lot of mainstream media starting to cover it a little bit. We can only hope that that continues. Valleyfield coming close with a behind-the-back Delormier special. But here comes DeLille in front, who can't control the pass. Given to him by Kyle Martin. Great chance here now, though, for Leb Thomas, who submarines one. But that one stopped by Solomon.
Well, Mark, we were talking about earlier about the fans, but there's people starting to come in and fill up the stands. They're coming in, and then the ball goes out of bounds. And we're going to watch. It's going to be Valleyfield that's still going to be maintaining possession. We're going to see what they're going to work here on the play.
Leb Thomas, another submarine. But Solomon's seen that before. Held, hooked, poked, but to no avail, as Guimont still can work it off to Thomas, who sets things up again, works it into the middle to Delormier. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Takes a slash from Martin. And a shot with the shot clock expiring by Christian Trudel, but that does not penetrate the armor of Solomon. Works it up to Mike DeLille.
Well, we're going to have a penalty here to the Ganienkeh player, Junior Trombley. We earlier seen him put the big slash on Chubby Delormier, and you heard him go, ouch. But the referees did make no call, but we've seen him get hit on that one. And Baranowski didn't make no mistake on that one. You've seen Delormier go down, lose his helmet. He's getting up. Looks like he's putting tape on it to keep it on. So there's a delay in the game. Junior Trombley's in the box. But as I mentioned earlier, Trombley's a physical player, and for Ganienkeh, they need a player who can put out the big hits to clear the area in front of the goaltenders, especially in front of the Ganienkeh net. But in this case, he was trying to clear out in front of the Valleyfield Dynamites net. So talk about cleaning house. He's trying to clean the opposition's house there, Mark. There's going to be a face-off. And what's the call going to be? It's going to be a major penalty. He's going to getting 5 minutes. So he didn't earn his way into the good keepings there of referee Baranowski. It's going to give Valleyfield a 5-minute power play.
Yeah, Baranowski doesn't like the cheap shots, and there was one there by the Ganienkeh Gunners, number 55. .27 left in the second period. 4-1 for visiting Valleyfield. 4:30 left in the Dynamites' man advantage. Here comes Mike DeLille. Takes a hit, loses possession. And Valleyfield now going to try to bury the Gunners with this 5-minute major. If they can score a couple of goals here on the power play, they can pretty much put this one away, if not at least morally demoralize the host Gunners.
Well, they're definitely trying to take advantage of this power play to get some more goals in and trying to bury them. But the Ganienkeh is trying to kill this penalty off, and if possible, to get a shorthanded goal. So they're trying to kill the time on that clock and that penalty.
Thomas fakes into the middle. That one's controlled now, or is it? Yes, it is. By Parker, who moved it up, but that gets intercepted, and Thomas in front. Over to the other side to his teammate Stacy, who rifles one wide. And here comes Greg Tarba. And one stop by Gray. And here comes Danny Oakes, who stopped rather easily there by Solomon. 2:45 left in this 5-minute major against Delormier of the Gunners. Leb Thomas. Clock is ticking. A fresh 30-second clock. Solomon fighting it in the corner, trying to get it up to Tarbaugh. Tarbaugh looking, dishing off to Macumber. Into Guimont. Macumber shoots. Frozen by Gray. And one's headman by Oakes. Looking for Parker. That one's loose and recovered by Delormier. Kyle Martin in the box for Ganienkeh. Junior Tremblay in the box for the Ganienkeh Gunners with 8:25 left. Minute and a half left in the man advantage for Valleyfield. Here's Bradley. Has a little bit of a chat with Thomas.
They're trying the old hidden ball trick here to get the goalie confused.
Thomas in front. Ooh, gets through to 88. Guimont, who rifled one on the pads, and the shot clock expires, or does it? And they score. 66 Delormier. As there's some confusion, Ganienkeh calling for the shot clock to expire, but obviously they got that shot off just as it was expiring. They got the fresh clock and buried one.
Well, there definitely was some confusion there, Mark, because the shot clock buzzer went off, and it appeared, and the Ganienkeh players relaxed. They thought they were going to get possession, but Chubby Delormier picked up the ball, and Valleyfield continued to play it, and they put it in. Ganienkeh is not too happy at all with Baranowski on that one. And Mark, that's something that we haven't talked about too much in this game, but throughout the league, a lot of teams have been complaining about the officiating because at times they've been mediocre in trying to cover the games, and a lot of teams have been complaining about this. Something hopefully will improve. The play's back underway.
Here come the Gunners. Still shorthanded for 35 seconds, but they get a good chance in front, but held up was John Oakes. Loose ball, mid-court. Here comes Delarone in the middle. Lets one go. And one stopped. Easily by Solomon, who's looked pretty good tonight for the expansion Dynamites. 2-on-1, just behind 93 Filion. Back and forth they go. The loose ball bouncing around and controlled by Solomon, who works it up to Trudel. Trudel looking deep, getting a man all alone in front, and robbed while slipping, attempting to get the rebound rather ungracefully. Here come the Gunners. Sylvain Primo, the seldomly used Sylvain Primo, getting that good chance in front earlier, moments ago.
Well, Solomon's going to pass the ball out, and he's going to pass it up to number 22, Lev Thomas. Thomas, a very experienced player coming over from the Aguasasne and coming over the Outlaws, and he's got a great submarine shot, and he gets another 30-second clock, but Gray made the save. And Gray, for his part, has played pretty solid here for Ganienkeh. He's keeping the game close for them. And the Gunners are now putting pressure. Mike DeLille carrying the ball in.
DeLille works at cross court. Back to DeLille from Oakes. Here come the Dynamites, who hold a 5-1 lead. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second period of play. Lev Thomas to Captain Tarbaugh. Loose ball.
That was Eric Macumber who rifled a shot right off the post.
There's Tarbaugh again. He's got lots of room in the middle. He should shoot from here in all likelihood. No, he doesn't. Passes off. 88, Kyle Mayo stopped, and you heard the complaints from the bench. Valleyfield yelling out, shoot that thing. And beaten. Now it's actually in possession of Valleyfield's Filio, who works it up, and stopped on the play is Brett Bradley. Here comes DeLille looking for possession. He gets it. Works to the middle. Looking around, firing wide. Stacy not able to control, and here comes Chip Bradley on the break. He shoots just wide. Transition game working in Valleyfield's favor.
There's going to be a delayed penalty. We see Chuck Baranowski's hand up, and it appears that number 4, Michelle LaCrosse, going to get caught with either a high sticking penalty there on Danny Oakes, and Oakes felt that he's touching his chin there, and he's looking over at Baranowski saying, "Hey, you trying to give me a close shave?"
Well, he's off to the sin bin, which will give the Gunners a chance to get back into this game. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the second, as Ganienkeh trails 5-1. Baranowski having a chat with Chuck Delormier. The two Chucks chatting over that penalty call. Face off to the left. They're going to do that one over, or are they? No, they're not. Here comes Delormier for the short-handed Dynamites. Slowing it down, taking some hits. Nonetheless, not Oakes or any of the other Ganienkeh players can have much success until right now.
John Dam is going in. He's going to take the shot.
Trying to do it all himself there. Getting a pretty decent chance on the play. But with 1:20 left, Ganienkeh's got to try and set up here to get a good scoring opportunity from a good angle. And Valleyfield, Bradley works it over to the other side. Wide open is Brett Bradley. And here comes Ganienkeh. I'll try one more time to get things going here with the 5-on-4.
They definitely will there, and the clock says they got 51 seconds left to go, but they're taking their time. They're trying to set up, and they're trying to work the pick and roll in close, because it's really difficult to score when you're far out in long shots, because goalies can see them pretty good. But Valleyfield comes back. Now Bradley picks it up. He's breaking in alone, but he's got two Ganienkeh players closing in on him.
A semi-break there, but Bradley couldn't put it into second gear as he stopped on the play by three defenders who came back. Bradley worked it into the middle, but nonetheless, goaltender Gray closing the door as Ganienkeh, with 12 seconds on the shot clock and in the penalty, work it down for one last opportunity here with the man advantage. 2:18 left in the second. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Bit of a change up there. Did not fool Solomon. As wide open, hollering for the ball. Not getting it is Eric McCumber. Instead, Bradley gets it to McCumber now. Turns. Looks for Bradley, just out of his reach. One's in the corner now for Bradley, who gets hit off the ball. But Baranowski gives possession back to Valleyfield. Bradley working it behind. Slippery surface tonight. A lot of guys falling on their touches. And Len, no, what a shot by Leb Thomas, who buries another one from the blue line, the invisible blue line here in LaCrosse.
Oh, it's definitely invisible here. Something like that ball, you know, we have a hard time watching it because the ball's white, and with the lighting, you can imagine what it's like for the players and the goalies who got to pay attention for that ball. But Valleyfield goes up now 6-1 with 1:35 remaining. But Ganienkeh has to keep putting the pressure, and they got to keep controlling the ground balls in this game. And as you mentioned earlier, some of the players are slipping around the net. But both teams are both slipping around the net because we've seen a lot of opportunities, and they can't finish, Mark. But Valleyfield has the ball on the face-off, and they lose it. Solomon's going to go out. Oh, he's going to have a collision there. Number 55, Junior Tremblay. He and Solomon are having some dances going there.
Yeah, 66, Junior Tremblay liking the rough stuff tonight. as Leb Thomas now has 2 goals on the night for Valleyfield. Here's a chance in front. Unable to connect on it is Mayo. Deer's got it now, back at the point. Back into Mayo, works to the middle. Onto the close side here for Tremblay, into the middle for Mayo, who received a nice setup there by Curtis Stacy, and here comes Valleyfield. And a chance in front, but to no avail. Primo, they seldomly use Primo, although more so recently. In the last few minutes, he gets stopped by Gray.
Well, Valleyfield's going to have to use all their players because they got a shorter bench than Ganienkeh, and if Ganienkeh can press them and tire them out, they can create some opportunities in front of the net.
20 seconds left in this second period. Ooh, a vicious slash, but little drop pass here. Little hot dogging behind the back by Primo, but that didn't work out for Valleyfield with only 3 ticks left on the clock. Chance for one last shot, but it won't happen. See, the clock has expired this period too, and I wasn't kidding last period when I thought that time had expired. Time has expired now for about 10 seconds here in the second period of play, or is that the old 1 minute problem we had? See, now it went to 19 minutes. As we had told you last period, I saw 19 on the scoreboard, and this play is continuing nonetheless. Something is definitely wrong with that scoreboard.
Well, they're getting a bonus minute there, Mark, and they're taking full advantage of it. They got 50 seconds going, and Valleyfield's coming out on a rush.
Nice one-timer, but knocked off the ball is Philip Gauthier. Gunners breaking out. Coincidental minors there on the play. Fillion's going to head to the box along with Jason Delarone of the Gunners. So that evens out as Baranowski makes the call.
I think Jason Delarone was a bit confused because it was actually Bobby White who hit Fillion, and he's pleading his innocence, saying, "What did I do?"
He's confused. Imagine the fans and the teams here with the scoreboard going bonkers on us for the second straight period.
Yeah, and let's let our viewers know we're confused, but we did get hit on the play.
Yeah, exactly. Although you have to wonder what's going on at the scorer's desk tonight. Electronic malfunction. They can't use the scoreboard to use the horn. Who knows? But Baranowski trying to figure it out with the scorekeeper. They're talking about it right now.
I can remember from previous experience being in here in the Rouses Point Civic Center, and apparently, Mark, their clock only goes up to 19 minutes.
Well, there you go.
That's the problem, and I just remember because we were talking about that before. We're saying, what happened to that 1 minute? And all of a sudden, they would reset the clock.
As I said, there's one last chance here for Valleyfield. There were 3 seconds. No, they're not going to get the shot off. And I thought the time had expired. And I saw 19 go on the scoreboard, so I thought there was some funny business going on here with the scoreboard. It looks modern enough. Yeah, they're ending the period now, I think, because it says that there's 28 seconds left, but there had to be a good half minute that went on without the clock functioning. So the 18 minutes of Richard Nixon tape, not exactly, but the 1 minute and change of mysterious time on the clock has been found, and it's now 6-1 for visiting Valleyfield against host Ganienkeh after 40 minutes of play. And what we can tell you now, Mike, and the viewers, is that this one looks like it's in control on the part of the expansion Dynamites, but one has to wonder if there's going to be any paint being peeled off the walls during the second intermission by Coach Eddie Delarone in that Ganienkeh locker room.
Well, definitely, I don't know if there's reason for them to panic, but as we said in the game here, Mark, the key for them, for Ganienkeh, is to control the loose balls. And you see Danny Oakes, he's controlling the loose balls in the game, but the rest of the Gunners are having problems picking up the loose balls, picking up the rebounds. They're having problems finishing around the net. And as you've seen with the Valleyfield, if you just want to give a recap for our viewers, Valleyfield got a goal in the second period from Britt Bradley. They got a goal from Sylvain Guimont. They got a goal from Chubby Delormier and from Leb Thomas. And that's been the key, is that Valleyfield's been able to connect on their opportunities. They got a lot of chances. Ganienkeh is getting their chances, but they've been having problems all year finishing around the net, and that's one of the things that's hurt them. Their goaltending's very tough. Gray standing tall. There's no gray area on him. He's making the saves. But the thing is, the Ganienkeh players have to control those loose balls. They got to stay at the penalty box, and they got to connect on those opportunities. And now going in the third period, with them having a larger bench and Valleyfield having a shorter bench, there's a possibility with those extra legs they can press them to try and wear them down, try and create those opportunities. But they got to start working in close. They got to run the pick and roll. They got to go inside on Solomon, because very few of the outside shots have beat him. So they have to move in. And what we're seeing with Valleyfield is they're going in. They're getting a couple of the long shot goals, but they're running a screen, or they have guys cutting in and bouncing it. And that's going to be the key for Ganienkeh. So I'm sure Coach Delarone's going to be having some interesting discussions in the dressing room.
Colorman Mike Rice, and the man behind the camera is Kelvin Castine, and you're watching hometown cable coverage of Ganienkeh Gunners LaCrosse as they trail the visiting Valleyfield Dynamites 6-1 after 40 minutes. We'll be back with the third period of play after this. Third period about to get underway here at Rouses Point, with the host Ganienkeh Gunners trailing 6-1 against the expansion Valleyfield Dynamites. You're watching hometown cable's coverage of Ganienkeh Gunners LaCrosse, brought to you by.
Well, this is brought to you by the proud sponsor of the Ganienkeh Gunners, or Ganienkeh Territorial Bingo, which is located just off Devil Dens Road in Altona. Or for those people who are still in the military, just off what's known as the popular military turnpike off Route 190. So they're the proud sponsors of the Ganienkeh Gunners. And if you look over into the Ganienkeh bench area, you see with the baseball cap there is the general manager, Evan Delarone, the man in charge of the operations, similar to Regent O with the Montreal Canadiens.
You've got a situation here where we're being delayed a few seconds as they try and do what? I have no idea. There's a kid playing basketball in the corner, and Mike.
I believe what's going on there, Mark, was in the end of the second period. Ganienkeh had two players in the box. Valleyfield had two players, and I think the scorekeeper let the clock run out when he should have left it as it was set. So I think the referees are checking that. Chuck Baranowski's making sure there the scorekeeper knows he's math there, and he has the time set right. That's for the viewers there. Don't be surprised if you're looking up into the visitors penalty area. It still says 128. It must be a symbolic number of a famous player who played in this arena. It never comes off. It stays there. So I don't think it's a Valleyfield penalty. It never moved since we mentioned it last period.
And there are 19 minutes to start the period because the scoreboard here has not the capability to put a 20 on it. So if you remember in the first period, we had a little confusion. I'm Mark Shalhoub, color man. Alongside me is Michael Rice as we get this third period underway. 6-1 Valleyfield with a short bench tonight, which is probably the one saving grace for Ganienkeh as they try and get back into this game quickly.
Well, they definitely have there. They have 20 minutes. You know, 5 goals is not a big disadvantage in a game of lacrosse. It's not like hockey, because some teams can score 4 or 5 goals in under 2 minutes. But you are right. Ganienkeh has to get back in it. And there we see Eric McCumber, number 15 for Valleyfield, catching the Ganienkeh Gunners out of position and catching Gray.
Where was Gray on that play?
I think Gray was trying to come out of the net and play the ball, and McCumber taught him that. The old saying, if you're in the net, stay in the net and don't go away from it. And McCumber gets his first goal of the game here in the third period to put Valleyfield up 7-1. And talking about McCumber, he used to be a former player and a former coach with the Ganienkeh Gunners last year, and now he's playing with Valleyfield, so he's got to feel good about that, getting at least one in this game.
So just 38 seconds into the period, the 6-goal cushion for Valleyfield with a 7-1 lead. Here comes Bradley. Loses possession. DeLille going after it. Both players bump as DeLille gets possession, works it up, but it's whistled down as it's worked out too quickly according to referee Giga. This game started off not too badly for Ganienkeh, as after Leb Thomas had given Valleyfield a 1-0 lead, Danny Oakes tied it at 1, then Valleyfield with 5 unanswered goals. They did lead 2-1 after the first, then scored 4 more in the second, and now with the early third period tally, it's now 7-1 Valleyfield. Here come the Dynamites. Delormier in the middle, drop to Bradley. He loses possession. And here come the Gunners. Danny Oakes, the man rushing it in.
And that was a brother combination, Johnny and Danny Oakes there, but Danny Oakes couldn't get to his brother there, John, and there seems to be some confusion, but they get the ball back, and he's trying to look for an open Ganienkeh player. Bounces off, and number 44 picks it up, but Baranowski blows the whistle, and I want to see what the call is here. He's having a talk with number 44, Britt Bradley, and I think he's going to be calling. I don't know if he's going to give a face-off or is it a penalty here. There's some confusion going on, and the players are exchanging a good laugh. Bradley's taking it all in stride there, and I guess Chuck hasn't lost that old teacher appeal there, and seemed to be like his students out there at Bruce's time. But then again, this is LaCrosse, and sometimes those students can misbehave. Now we have 16:21 left. Ball's whistled back in play. Danny Oakes picks it up in front to his brother. Takes a quick shot and resets the shot clock, but he couldn't beat Solomon. Solomon's going to pass it out. He's passing out to Britt Bradley. They're going to bring it up. Bradley carries it up into the Ganienkeh zone. He's looking. He comes back. He passed it back to number 93, Rick Fillion.
Fillion fires wide. And Gray trying to scoop it up. As DeLille couldn't hold on to that one, and that just missed a couple of lovely young ladies just below me, and not to mention my left ankle by inches.
I think they're trying to intimidate us there, Mark. I think that ball was intended for us.
Yeah, they don't like what we're saying about their 6-goal deficit, I guess, at this stage of the third period with 15:23. Or make that 16:23 because we know there's an extra minute on this scoreboard. In front, all alone, waiting, and probably a little too long as the element of surprise was lost there as Sylvain Guimont could not get it by Gray. Here comes DeLille. He's hit but holds on to it. Cross court, into the middle. Comes Oakes as he was in the crease.
Well, he went a little bit too far there, and it's a very tough angle to score when you're almost parallel with the goalie. But now we have Valleyfield has possession. They pass it back out, but a very sloppy pass. Intercepted by number 28, Mike DeLille. But now his pass has been intercepted by Valleyfield up to Leb Thomas. Thomas, the wily veteran, coming in, and he's setting up and waiting for his teammates.
Here come the Dynamites looking for more. Larocque. Michel Larocque. Working it down low to McCumber, who shoots wide. And here's Thomas. Looking for the hat trick. Fires it. Wide by a couple of feet to the left of Gray, who scoops it out. 15:08 left to go in regulation. 7-1 Valleyfield against Ganienkeh. Hit from behind on the play was Mayo. Slapped. Junior Tremblay slapping it around on that play. Shot in the dark.
Looked a little bit like ping pong there, and he was trying to score a point for his team.
Or a smash in tennis, whatever you prefer. A little bit longer racket than ping pong there, Mike. Here's Leb Thomas at the point. Works it in. Cross court, nobody there. Banked off, but Bradley can't handle it. And here comes Ganienkeh. Trying to work it out of its zone. Here's DeLille at the left face-off circle. Works it back to the point nicely and fired, but wide by Oakes. As here comes a 2-on-0 for Valleyfield. Thomas, who had the hat trick on his stick, but shot it wide with the fancy Dan behind the back shot, which he's used a couple of times tonight. Here's DeLille at midcourt for the Gunners with 13:40 to go in the third period, down by 6. 6 unanswered goals for Valleyfield in this one. 15 seconds left on the shot clock, as struggling for position is Dam, and now struggling for it is Stacy, as the Dynamites recover and find themselves on a 2-on-1, as Tarbaugh hitting the iron on that one, it looked like.
He definitely did there, but Ganienkeh's got the ball. Danny Oakes is holding on, he's passing it up.
Here comes another chance for Ganienkeh. Here comes a loose ball again. The story of tonight's game, actually. A lot of loose balls, as DeLille getting his own rebound, shooting wide. Out of play, and possession goes to Valleyfield. Here come the Dynamites. Hit from behind viciously was Primo, and that wakes the crowd up. Primo down.
He's definitely smashed there, and he's smashed by the sparsely user mark number 25 for Ganienkeh. And that's, here it says Kelly Daibo on our list, but that looks a lot like Kyle Daibo, I remember from my high school years, and he just levels him there in front of the net.
Well, we got the lineups a little late from the coaching staff, so maybe they made a mistake, or maybe it is Kelly Daibo. Who knows? But you ought to know, Mike, because he's familiar to you. 12 minutes, 13 seconds left in regulation. 7-1 Valleyfield against Ganienkeh here at Rouses Point. On the draw, here's Leb Thomas. They're going to be trying to set him up. You can be sure of that for his hat trick, as they have 1:50 to go on the power play, as the penalized player on that play for Ganienkeh was Kyle Daibo. Here come the Dynamites trying to control here. Finally, they gain possession at the blue line. Leb Thomas in front. McCumber working it down low to his teammate Delormier, who was flattened on the play, and Thomas fires a submarine shot. That's blocked by Gray. Loose ball. Not loose anymore, finally. Here comes Tarbaugh down low, works it in front all alone, and robbed on the play was McCumber by Gray. And here comes Leb Thomas. He's going to fire this one. Watch this. He gets robbed himself on that play by Gray. Thomas looking for the hat trick time after time here in the third period. Finally, a little change-up shot in front by Greg Tarbaugh. And recovering for Valleyfield is Delormier, who fakes the handoff to Trudell. A little bit of yelling at one another on the part of the Valleyfield players there.
They're getting a bit frustrated because they don't like to waste opportunities, and they're vocalizing it.
Yeah, they're only up by 6 goals. Jeez. Here comes Ganienkeh. Delarone working it up nicely. Feather pass into Oakes. And here we go. Behind the net, a little bit of extracurriculars, as Oakes was hit on the play by Trudell, who took the worst of that hit, actually. Oakes retaliating, but that going no further as they trash talk to one another.
I think he hurt the boards more than he hurt Oakes.
Eight, 9:44 left. Got to always add that extra minute on this scoreboard. Working it down low for Ganienkeh is Oakes. John Oakes. Saved by Solomon. Here's Delarone. Jason Delarone. As it comes back out of play, Valleyfield ball with 9:12 to go in the third.
Well, that's the first bit of sustained offense we've seen from Ganienkeh, putting pressure on Valleyfield, and it's good to see that they're not giving up in this game, and they got to keep up that competitive spirit and keep fighting to get back in this game.
Here's Leb Thomas, 15 seconds left on the shot clock. He's looking for someone down low. Some picks being worked down low by Filion. And here comes Delarone for the Gunners. Holds up. Works it down low to Daibo. Waiting for help. And getting it in the form of not Kelly Williams, I should say. That's number 32, Philip Gauthier. Leb Thomas, loose ball. Gauthier. Down into the corner. With possession. Valleyfield. And shooting wide was Filio on the play as the shot clock expires. Chuck Baranowski giving possession to the Gunners, who have 7 minutes. 8 minutes to go to try and get some offense on the board. Shot from way out there by Horn. That's taken care of by Solomon, and here come the Dynamites. Brett Bradley holds up, looking, working his way back. Still with possession. Working down low, shooting way over top of the net. Gunners trying to work it back out as Bieber was looking for the deep pass to Oakes, but nonetheless, Valleyfield regaining possession, and here comes a shift for Marc Legault. There's a name we haven't called too often tonight. He gets flattened on the play. Not exactly the smallest guy either. Delayed penalty.
Well, he got hit for a pretty big guy there, Junior Tremblay.
Junior. There's an oxymoron. He's no junior, he's a big boy. Rough stuff going on behind the play. Rolla Parker giving a massage to Chip Bradley. And it looks like we're going to have another trip to the penalty box.
We definitely are. I'm not sure if Ganienkeh is going to get a double minor. If he's going to have two players going, yes, they are. Junior Tremblay is getting called, and Rolla Parker. And that's not a good move to make when you got 5:35 left to play in the game. Or excuse me, 6:35, and you're down 7-1. You don't want.
It's the exchange rate, Mike.
Yeah,
it's scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm used to Canadian clocks.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be down 7-1. Give the other team a two-man advantage when they're up 7-1. Valleyfield's confident. You heard them out there. The Valleyfield players were saying, slow it down, let's control the game, we'll try our plays. They're not worried because they know they have 6-goal lead to play with. So they just want to play out their game. They want to kill the clock. And they know that Ganienkeh has to come from behind. And often when you come from behind, you got to play wide open style. You're not playing much defense.
Well, some frustration there on the part of the Gunners, no doubt about that one, as this one's out of reach with only 6.5 to go. And here comes Chuck Delormier. And the tractor, of course, behind us here in the stands with 6 minutes and change to go in regulation. 1:38 in both double minors to the Gunners, who regain possession. And here's Danny Oakes, who works it up court to Jamie Horn, who gets hit in the process by goaltender Solomon, who finds McCumber open, who works it down low, and beautiful setup and goal for the Dynamites as they take an 8-1 lead on a beautiful goal.
That's by number 40. Was that number 44?
Brett Bradley.
That's a hat trick for him tonight there, Mark. And like I said, this is the first time I've seen him this year playing for Valleyfield. So they got to be happy with his addition to the lineup. And they're not being disappointed at all as Britt Bradley gives them now the 8-1 lead. And don't mind the clock. I think one of the bulbs burned out. It looks like a 6, but rest assured it is at 8.
What else is new? But now the only question which remains to be answered, I guess, in this one is, will Leb Thomas join the hat trick party along with Brett Bradley? 1:14 left in the two-man advantage for Valleyfield. Thomas will get his opportunity here as Delormier has possession at the point, and Thomas to his left. They work it down to Thomas. Back to Delormier. Fakes, shoots, wide. Comes back out. Thomas with it. He lets one go, just wide. And it works its way all the way back to Travis Solomon, who's being instructed by a couple of the Dynamites to work it up. He does that. As Delormier finally gains possession, then loses it on the hit. There's Delormier. Midcourt. Fake to Thomas. Down low to McCumber. Over to Thomas. Behind the back to Bradley. Down low. Thomas regains it. They're asking for a reset on the shot clock. And Baranowski's asking for it. They get a semi-reset. It gets reset to 24 seconds. This isn't the NBA shot clock, by the way. It should be 30. And the penalties have expired. Oh, getting hit from behind Delormier. He shoots it wide. Coming in on the play there was Rolla Parker to break that one up. And here comes Ganienkeh's number 5, Danny Oakes. Works it over to John Oakes. 3-on-1 coverage in the corner. Cross check from behind on Bradley. A red ball as the referees make the call there.
Well, taking a couple of chips at Chip Bradley. They're getting hit from behind.
And here come the Dynamites. McCumber down low to Guimont, but that one's whistled down.
Well, what happened there, Mark, was there was a hit off the play. And what happens when you're hitting a player behind the play and your team has possession, your team has to give over possession to the opposing team. But Danny Giguère, I think he caught Chip Bradley, who got a bit frustrated. They were having a few chips taken out of him there in the corner, retaliated behind our view on the rush against the Ganienkeh net, and he gets caught for that. So the frustration's going to give him 2 minutes in the sin bin where he can savor that fresh tasting water.
Well, he can afford to do that at this point of the game when getting slashed and hit from behind like that with a 7-goal lead. He's not costing his team very much at this stage. 3:32 to go in regulation play. 8-1 for visiting Valleyfield here at Rouses Point against Ganienkeh, which is still going to be looking for its first win of the season after tonight's loss.
Yeah, definitely there. Ganienkeh's going to be looking for their first win of the year. Valleyfield pretty well is feeling confident. They're up 8-1. They got 3:32 to go that they can win this game, and you've seen the Ganienkeh team taking advantage of that timeout there. The teams are at the bench talking with their players, and that they got to play their game, they got to focus, they got to climb back in this game, and it's possible. We've seen it happen in many leagues, but it all depends on the players.
8-1, Mike, come on.
We've seen it happen. We've seen.
What's the worst you've seen with 3.5 left?
I was at a game earlier this year where I seen the Ganienkeh Gunners were leading 11-5 going in the third period against the Ganienkeh Haga Outlaws, and the Outlaws scored 14 unanswered goals to come back in that game. So
that was the whole third period, though.
Yes, that was.
Not 3.5 minutes, which is a tall order for what looks to be a frustrated Ganienkeh team at this point. A vicious set of hits in the corner there. Double team on the play by John Dam and Curtis Stacy, Mike.
Well, there's frustration setting in on the part of Ganienkeh, and this isn't Chubby Delormier's night, but they've been hacking him. I think he's have to change his nickname from Chubby to Tuffy or something for all the abuse he's taken out there. But you know, even though Valleyfield is an expansion team, they have a lot of veterans on this team. They have a lot of experience, and it shows. And you also see Ganienkeh has some of the veterans, but looking at the medium age, Ganienkeh's average age, their team is only about 21 years old. So generally they're very young, and it takes time to build up his experience. This is only their second year in the league, and it takes time to build that teamwork, and as they call it, for a team to gel. Where you see the Valleyfield team seems to have much gelled a lot quicker.
Even though they're the first-year team, they're both pretty much in an expansion-type situation here this season, although Valleyfield with more success, as you were saying, Mike. 2:43 to go in regulation. Here comes Mayo, twisting, turning, looking, passing, down low. Dam knocked off the ball. And that one's recovered down low. And a vicious hit, late penalty on the call. Delron worked out in front of Dam, as there's going to be a penalty here with only 2:22 to go in regulation.
I believe Eric McCumber, number 15 for Valleyfield, is going to get penalty there for tripping. And I don't know if he had to do that, but I think this is near the end of the game. But no, it looks like he's going to be caught there for high sticking on the call. He's not too happy about it, but he's going to the box and he's making comments from the box. But this gives Ganienkeh a chance to get back in it. And apparently they gave him, they're fixing the clock. It looked like a moment they were going to give him 4 minutes. But now they're giving him 2 minutes and 50 seconds, which must be a new penalty.
There again, the exchange rate at work. 2:22 to go in the third. 8-1, Ganienkeh on the power play. 4 on 3. Solomon gains control, drops it off behind the net to his teammate Fillion, who works it up to Delormier. Delormier down low into Brett Bradley. He's all alone with 3 gunners on him. Bradley still with possession, working in the middle. He's in a good shooting position now, but passes that up. Still holding, shooting as the shot clock ticks down, and that would have counted had it gone in the goal, but Gray with the save. And now his counterpart Solomon dishes off to Delormier, who looks long for Brett Bradley. In alone, fake shoot, scores! 9-1 for Valleyfield on Brett Bradley's late third period tally. Chip Bradley, I should say. Got a couple of Bradleys in this game on the Valleyfield side, Mike, and also you have a couple of other players by the same name on the Ganienkeh team, the Oaks brothers. I'm assuming these guys are brothers.
Yes, they are. I know the Oaks are brothers. I'm not sure about the Bradley, but you got Chip getting his chip in there in the game. He's got Britt Bradley up with 3. He got a hat trick for himself, and Chip wanted to chip in for the team effort here.
Okay, I think you've used that joke a couple times there, Mike. There we go.
But it wasn't chippy.
It's a 9-1 game. I'll let you get away with using the same material on a few occasions. I've used the exchange rate a few times, so I figured I'd get a subtle jab into the scoreboard that way. And clock is ticking down with now a minute to play in regulation. Winding it down is Fillion, holding it. And he slips. Interference on the play.
Well, that's gonna. Oh, it's gonna be a penalty there, and they give it to Rolla Parker there. Interference call on. Is that number? Is it 93, Rick Fillion?
Yeah, he got 93 on the play, and Parker goes to the box as they now are 4 aside.
Apparently Fillion has a nickname. They're calling him Busboy, so he must work in a restaurant or something. Not the nickname you ought to hear from your teammates, but they're calling him.
Well, you only tease those you like, so I guess he's in the boys' good books. Here comes DeLille with 36 seconds to go. He's got a 2-on-1 situation. Dishes off to Oaks. And it comes loose to Filion. Trying to work back here for some reason. Oh, it's to pass off to Marc Legault, who misses the target, aiming for Michel Larocque. DeLille up to Oakes. Oakes from way out lets one go to brother John. And this one is in the books. The Valleyfield Dynamites win this one 9-1 against the host Ganienkeh Gunners here at Rouses Point. The Gunners still in search of their first victory on the season, and expansion Valleyfield going to town tonight and getting the job done with several players pitching in on this night.
Well, definitely there, Mark. We got Britt Bradley chipping in on the score sheet with a hat trick. You know, this is really tough. You know, when you're in Ganienkeh's position, you dropped 0-5, and as I checked over the first period intermission, I found out about Valleyfield. They raised their record now to three wins and 2 losses, so they got to be happy about it. But just recounting the score sheet for tonight, in the first period scoring, we had Valleyfield opening up with Leb Thomas. Second goal was following up was Danny Oakes for Ganienkeh to tie it at 1-1. We had Brett Bradley with his first of 3 on the night. And
that was the first of 8 unanswered goals as well for Valleyfield.
Definitely was there. And in the second period, Valleyfield continued their scoring. There we had Brett Bradley coming with his second in the third period. We had Sylvain Guimont. We had Chubby Delormier, Leb Thomas. And end up the third period, we had Eric McCumber and Brett Bradley and Chip Bradley. So there's a lot of Bradleys out here tonight on the score sheet. And it's a 9-1 score. It's got to be tough when you're a Ganienkeh fan, and the Dynamites got to be happy with this because they're raising their record and they want to get up there in the ILA standings. Last week they took a thrashing at the hands of the visiting Onondaga Warriors in Valleyfield. I haven't got the official score sheet. There's been some debate over it, but when we get those scores, we'll be glad to pass them along to our viewers.
So with all the Bradleys, one only has to wonder where's Ben Bradley of the Washington Post, the former editor-in-chief of that paper. We had the disappearing scoreboard tonight, the minute. It's disappeared on a couple of occasions, much like the Richard Nixon tapes, the 18 minutes of blank tape that were erased, although they say they were blank. The scoreboard did its thing a couple times tonight, as did the Valleyfield Dynamites, who certainly poured it on after the 1-1 tie in the first period. They scored the 8 straight goals and won this one handily, and they take off with the win happily. And this is certainly going to be what looks to be a long year for the Ganienkeh Gunners, but they have to look for small victories within each game and within each period. And how does a team like Ganienkeh suck it up for the rest of the year, knowing that they've been outplayed in a game like today? Although they've been in most of the other contests, as you said, they've been in a lot of tight affairs, and this is maybe something that could discourage them.
Well, I definitely can there, Mark, but I don't think they have to be discouraged. They got good goaltending. They have Robert Gray. Gray's pretty solid. You know, he's a goalie. He can't do everything, and he needs teammates. And some of the problems Ganienkeh has is the finishing on the offense. We've seen them. They've had the breaks. They weren't able to connect on them, whereas Valleyfield was able to cash in the majority of them. And in all the games that I've seen Ganienkeh play, they've always played their visiting teams, or they've been on the road, they played at home. They've always played them close. But the key for them seems to be that they're not able to finish. And as I mentioned earlier, even when games where they had leads, they have problems holding leads. They fall into penalty trouble, as they did here tonight. So they do have to build up on the small victories, you know. And it goes back to the old adage, you know, that practice makes perfect. The players got to get out. They got to work. They got to work their plays. They got to work their whole team, their whole bench. And, you know, any team is only as strong, you know, as its weakest link. So you got to build up that team depth, and they got to look for those small victories. And I think they can do it because they have a balance of youth and veterans. And if the veterans can motivate and inspire the younger players and settle them down, a lot like what we saw Valleyfield doing, the veterans were leading the way for the younger players, and that's what Ganienkeh is going to be doing. They're going to be looking to their veterans to help their younger players develop. And as I mentioned, a lot of them are relatively inexperienced compared to some of the other teams, and it takes time to develop.
But when you lose a game 9-1, what can a coach like Eddie Delaronde do to dissect this loss and maybe make it a little bit more palatable? What can he do to make the guys suck it up next game? Do they have to work on something specific? Because when you're outscored 9-1, something's going wrong.
Well, definitely, you gotta close up your defense. You know, if you're not going to be an offensive threat, you got to be a defensive gem. You know, at least if you can try and shut out the opposition, perhaps you could get a couple of key goals and eke out some close victories. But that's something you got to work on, and I think the key for them will be first to build up that defense. They have the solid goaltending, and now they have to work outwards. They got to close in that defense. They got to set up the box defense, and if their offense can chip in and get things going, and the Ganienkeh Gunners can turn things around. And this is a 20-game season. This is only their 5th game. They do have 15 games remaining on the schedule.
Well, our cameraman tonight has been Calvin Castine, and you've been watching Hometown Cable's coverage of Ganienkeh Gunners LaCrosse, brought to you by
Ganienkeh Territorial Bingo, who are the proud sponsors of the Ganienkeh Gunners. They're located on Devil's Den Road, just off Route 190, or some people know in the area as the Military Turnpike.
So for cameraman Calvin and analyst Mike Rice, I'm Mark Shalhoub, bidding you a pleasant good night. Once again, the final, the Valleyfield Dynamites 9, the Ganienkeh Gunners 1.
We tried to get Elizabeth Boyer to sing the national anthem before today's ball game, but she said not tonight. She's busy over there playing with her cousin in the sand here at beautiful recreation field in beautiful downtown Shazy. There's a Pee-wee game going on at the other end. Her sister's probably playing in that one. We are set for the start of this ball game. This is Pee-wee baseball. Josh Friend is going to waste little time. He swings at the first offering. It's going to drop in, throw the first one, not be in time. And Josh Friend is on with a leadoff single for Champlain. This is Champlain and Shazy Pee-wee baseball. Adam Dutil, the batter.
One off the baseman, or up out there for his debut, pitching debut.
Nick Sprague's pitching debut. We wanted to be here for this. We heard about it. We read about it in the paper, so we thought we'd come down. William Dutil's come out to ump on the bases, just as his son Adam Dutil steps to the plate. Oop. A check pitch. We've heard of check swings. That was a check pitch.
Come in, son, field buddy.
Another check pitch.